I'm out here on the lanai several days after I had a very nice, apparent realization that the I-Amness I identify within this body is the same I-Amness in everybody. The same I-Amness in me is the same I-Amness in you, and in every of the billions of human bodies on the planet. The same I-Amness. That means this same I-Amness, there is only one I-Amness. There is only one consciousness on the planet. One consciousness expressed as the many, manifested as the many. Now, how do you live? I question, how do I live with this apparent understanding that the same oneness in consciousness that is looking out of my eyes is looking out of everybody's eyes that I see driving their cars, walking on the street, shopping for groceries, when their behavior seems dramatically, in many instances, to be very different. All caught up as we are in these separate identities and roles of ours. How do I live understanding that beneath all of that is simply oneness? The one I-Amness. Well, I sidestep it for a while. This particular conditioned form sidesteps that for a while and just sits with the presence of I-Amness. And that I-Amness and now are the same. And that all manifestations in the universe here and existence in general happens simultaneously everywhere throughout the universe. It's always something happening in form because of the vibrational movement of the subatomic particles and the atomic particles that make up matter as we understand it, including this carbon biological form that we are. And I-Amness, since there is only one, is not limited to the form. I have a form. It is the vessel for awakening, if awakening is going to happen. But consciousness is not limited to the form. Consciousness is formless, as is awareness, as is curiosity, as is hope, all formless. So how to live, not only in this form, but interacting with other forms. When this particular form genetically is highly programmed and conditioned with over 100 billion neurons in the brain and trillions of neurotransmissions occurring by the minute. There's no way that I am aware of all of that neural transmission, neural circuitry activity at the level of the cellular, at the level of the molecular, at the level of the subatomic. I don't have that kind of awareness in this body. And yet all those kinds of transmissions and actions in the body allow the body to deal with digestion, deal with the heart rate, deal with the breathing in and out, language, vision, the coordination of all the senses into some idea of location in space and time. So I have modest, if limited, control and influence over this form and the brain that seems to manage it all. And the brain, with its neural circuitry, is conditioned to a large degree, and we behave out of habitual forms because we, each one of us, interacting with life, existence, co-author, co-create the personality and roles that we seem to have. The identity we seem to have is co-created through life's experience, our education, our age, where we were born, the families we were raised in, the countries we were raised, the culture, the society, all act to shape this mind-created sense of me, the personality, the individual self. And we can push each other's buttons and call each other's names and never see the oneness in each other's eyes. We can do horrific things body to body and never see the oneness in each other's eyes. So the question that presents itself is, what is the oneness all about? If it doesn't act to prohibit this kind of inter-body battling. There is no purpose. Life simply is. Consciousness simply is. And whether one understands that or accepts that conceptually makes no difference to reality. Makes no difference to existence, to the universe. That, interestingly enough, we in form are a combination of a whole host of things because we are multidimensional. We are a spiritual being, we are a physical being, an emotional being, a psychological being, simultaneously. And interestingly enough, the one brain that we do have inside this skull of ours is a bicameral brain, two hemispheres. And the neurobiologists have determined what appears to be the fact that we have two brains living in one body with two potentially different personalities, somewhat coordinated, living in one form. Kind of groovy, kind of interesting, kind of demonic. So if this oneness is all there is as far as consciousness is concerned, when the body of someone goes, that oneness of theirs remains. So this I-Amness, this consciousness that is in me, that is in you, is also the very same consciousness in Jesus, the very same consciousness, the very same I-Amness in Buddha, the very same I-Amness in Gandhi, and the very same I-Amness in Genghis Khan, the very same I-Amness in Hitler, the very same I-Amness in all human beings. The same. There's only one manifested as the many. Frankly, I haven't figured it out yet, how I live with this understanding. But anyway, welcome to the journey.